Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Today we're going to talk about overcoming common barriers to fitness. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast and owner of Put Yourself First. I'm a health and fitness coach that loves to help people just find their healthy formula and figure out things to live a healthy, fulfilling life. And I so appreciate you coming on the show today, listening in, sharing. You absolutely rock. Let's talk about overcoming common barriers to fitness, because really committing to regular exercise, just the regular exercise schedule it's not easy. And there's plenty of potential hindrances or obstacles or barriers, if you will. We're talking about time, boredom, injuries, self-confidence, yada, 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 we know. And don't let these stand in your way. I know a lot of times we often make up reasons not to start, and we stop ourselves before we even begin to exercise. I think it happened to me several times, and I've alluded to this in the past on different episodes, where you get all fired up, you're all excited, you're going to do this, and then you get that little head chatter in there that's, yeah, but, and you come up with different things, you won't have the time for it, or, that big event's coming up, or really it's just too early in the morning, and those sort of things. And I'm going to tell you what, I read a book. Gosh, it's been several years, but one of the most impactful books that I've read in the past. It wasn't a health and fitness book, but it was called Secret Code of Success by Noah St. John. I can post that link in the show notes for you. And, he talks about everyone has reasons they want to succeed, and he calls them, those are your why-tos. But at the same time, most of us have these little hidden reasons, and we're holding ourselves back with those, and those are the why not tos. And a lot of times we are just reasoning with ourselves, and many times talk ourselves out of things. And so I've had a lot of those fitness barriers happen before, even as I, have been getting healthy and fit over the past, probably 15 years that I actually committed and started. I still am challenged with time or schedule or coming up with the excuses, and I've got to work hard on those to overcome them. I was recently reading a blog where there were many professional fitness trainers out there that face a lot of the same things. They're busy, they're training, they have families, they're putting in long hours, and the biggest thing for them was time, a lot of them. Yet they found it very important to get their own fitness in, because I know for a lot of trainers out there, you kind of set yourself aside. You're putting everything into your work and your passion. You're helping a lot of other people, while your own health and fitness is kind of taken back burner. And I think a lot of us think, oh my gosh, you're a pro trainer, you must work out all the time. But that's not the case with everyone. So I was really intrigued by reading that article. But I don't have enough time to exercise. You've got to set aside the time, to do this. Setting aside the time, it's challenging, and you sometimes have to be a little creative with what it is you're going to do. Maybe it's just squeezing in a little bit of a short walk during your day if you don't have time for a full workout. I know sometimes there's the mind chatter in there that you're saying, well, the short walk really isn't going to add up to much if I don't put in a good workout. So you do nothing, right? You get yourself off the hook. But seriously, shorter bursts of exercise, like walking or doing HIIT workouts, or even just working your way up to a 30-minute workout. That's what I did. There were these 35-minute workouts that I was doing, and I just committed, you know what? I'm going to just do the first half. As a matter of fact, the first 5 minutes was yoga, and I was not going to do that. So I skipped through that part, but I did the first half of the workout. That's what I was committing to. And eventually, found as I was feeling a little bit better, a little more energy, I added on. Getting up earlier. is a great way to get more time to be able to do that if time's your issue. I know that life is crazy busy, and if you don't block out that time for you, life will find a way to fill out the stuff, or you get home, you're really tired. So just getting up 30 minutes earlier to get in a 15-20 minute workout, man, that's going to do the world for you there. Just do that a few times a week, but do it on a consistent basis. I initially I wanted to do 3 times a week, but I found quickly that by having those days off in there, I got sidetracked really easy. It was easy to take more days off. So I committed to 6 days a week. And I know that might sound ambitious for some of you, but really, what is your why to? What is the reason why you're wanting to exercise? You know it's good for you and all that stuff. You know you should, but there's got to be that big reason why that you wanted to do that. So adjust your early morning schedule. Another thing that you can do, I know this sounds kind of like a pain, but just park your car really far away and walk into the grocery store, into work, or whatever. Park a few blocks away. Chances are you might even find a good, more available spot, and you're getting in some exercise. Another thing that people face sometimes, I think, is exercise is boring, and that was me. That was definitely me. I found it to be boring. We had bought an elliptical machine, and I figured, hey, I'll just watch my favorite comedy show, 30 minutes, elliptical, and it'll be fine. And to tell you what, that comedy show seemed to last 5 hours. I was so bored. I couldn't even get interested by doing it and still watching my show. And I know I applaud those of you that love elliptical machines and stuff like that. It just didn't click with me. I needed a trainer to tell me what to do. I needed a variety of exercises. But it's natural to, have that repetitiveness kind of get away from it and create that boredom. So choose activities that you enjoy, okay? Aside from sitting on the couch and playing video games or watching TV, stuff that you're interested in. And I know a lot of times just varying up the routine, whether it's weights or a little cardio or going out for a walk or biking or swimming, whatever it is, create a plan of what you're going to do each day, but vary up that routine. Also, exercising with friends. We've talked about that before. Don't let each other off the hook. Root each other on. And just explore new options. Learn new skills. Sometimes people love to ski. Sometimes people love to rock climb. And they vary it up from season to season. Beachbody on demand, all of the different Beachbody workouts. That's what keeps me going over the years, is the variety of workouts. Right now, I've kind of stepped out of my comfort zone from the program I'm doing for these 80 days, and where I've been used to just doing weights one day and cardio the next. And so while this one does, it focuses on just kind of different components. And so just that variety keeps it intriguing and compelling and definitely not boring. Challenging? Yes. Boring? No. Another thing that I think people face, the little barrier, is I'm self-conscious about how I look. I was self-conscious too. There was a time when I went to a gym, and then as I let things slide and the beer gut came on and I kind of let myself go, I didn't feel confident going to the gym. And I know it's really easy to get down on yourself, but just remind yourself that when you're getting in there, that you're working to improve your strength and your cardiovascular health, and to just prove to yourself that you can show up each day. Stay off that scale. I was having a chat with somebody today, and they're feeling deflated that there was a 1 pound increase. They went up a pound. I'm like, you just let that take you out of the game, where the person had just showed up for 28 days, I think, straight of their workouts. They're feeling a little more energetic. Their clothing's feeling a little looser. They're sleeping better. All these things added up, and they let the 1 stupid pound on that scale take them out. So there's a little side note, and getting on my soapbox here, but do that. Do an exercise video, or play play a one of those exercise games. I think Nintendo had that, maybe PlayStation. You can do those sort of things. Once again, Beachbody on demand. That's what worked for me. Was the home workouts. I didn't have on demand at the beginning. But I used Beachbody workout programs, and when I was feeling self-conscious, I was able to go down the hallway into my own room, and boom, room closed. Follow the trainer. I felt goofy doing the workouts, but it was just me. And those things added up. And I just wanted to focus on the future, praise myself, and acknowledge myself for showing up each day. Put a big old X on the calendar as I checked off each day, and just remembered that I was becoming more fit. I was becoming more confident in my exercises, and that improved self-confidence over time. And now, if I were to, I have no problem going to a gym. I don't. I still work out from home, but if I go to a gym, that self-confidence, I feel a lot more confident now doing that. Now, I'm not saying everybody faces that, but that's a barrier that some people do. Another one, I'm too tired after work to exercise. I kind of alluded this before. If you don't have the energy to exercise, without the exercise, you're not going to have the energy, and without the sleep and stuff like that. So you got to kind of break that cycle and get into the physical activity. Over time, it's going to help you improve your sleep quality, your energy level, etc. I know I'm just kind of throwing this out there because you aren't there quite yet, or you might not be there quite yet, but just know it's going to happen, okay? Just get up in the morning, exercise, hop on a treadmill or stationary bicycle. Those Pelotons, people are having a blast with those. Step outside, go for a quick walk, or if you can run or jog, do that. For me, it's following a trainer on the TV telling me exactly what to do, and I'm not trying to just guess my way into action. Make lunchtime count. My sister does this. She keeps a pair of tennis shoes with her at work, and then when it's lunchtime, she takes part of her, either she eats real quick or she eats when she gets back, and she does a little power walk around the neighborhood for where she works. Another one of these barriers that people have is, I'm just too lazy to exercise. Yep. I've faced that myself, and I've had many friends that are like, I'd commit to it, but let's face it, I'm just lazy. Okay. You got to set realistic expectations. As I think sometimes people are waiting for a tipping point, like big news from their doctor, exercise or else. I know for me, I was kind of going down that path. Diabetes was on the horizon. I'd seen it happen with so many family members. My big beer gut was coming. I ate really horribly. I was just waiting for that news from the doctor, that one thing. And you know what? You don't want to wait until that. You want to be proactive and take care of yourself. So, you know what? Set realistic expectations. If your goals are too high, sometimes you give up before you even start trying. And don't give up if you're feeling worn out. Just break up your workouts in a little bit. We've got a program called 10-Minute Trainer, and I had a buddy of mine that he just did 10 minutes every single day. Shout out to you, Danny. And he did that for a whole year, dropped 40 pounds, I think. But he committed to it. He was consistent. So maybe plan. I've known other people to do that, and they just do little 10-minuters a couple times a day. And if you choose times when you typically are more energetic, for me, I'm more energetic. Even though I'm not a morning person, my energy is higher, and I can get things done better in the morning. Maybe not right when I wake up, but with a little bit of wake up time. And if I've scheduled it out right to where I'm not having to rush out the door, then you're not feeling quite so lazy. But schedule those workouts in. That's super, super smart. Block out times for that physical activity, whatever it is that you're going to do. And I think those are the best tips. So just a few other thoughts. Committing to consistency. That's what catapulted my journey to fitness. I wasn't sure how it was going to plan out. I just was doing a 90-day program. And then I thought, well, after 90 days, I'll quit. I'll be done. and I'll just commit to those 90 days. But I committed and sticking to it. And what I found was that commitment started to pay off to bring about other things. I did end up backing off after the 90 days and then found clothing was getting tighter. I was becoming more sluggish. I was becoming more lazy. I'm like, oh, I got to commit to this longer. And so once I hit that realization, I did that. Baby steps. I did that too. Several workout programs. I'll go through the motions just to get the moves down, get the exercise down. It's humbling to get back into working out if you haven't done it in years. You used to bang out 40 push-ups in a row, and now you're barely getting 2. But baby steps, you aren't going to run a marathon the very next day. You got to do that in a little bit of time. Picking exercise that's fun, working out with friends, maybe join a sports team of some sort. Now this was me. I joined a volleyball league. We only did it 1 day a week, and I was counting that as my weekly exercise. You got to do a little bit more than that, but it varied it up. It was a lot more fun to do that. There's a lot of leagues, rec leagues that are in a lot of cities, intramural sort of things that you can do. Gear up your iTunes or your phone with podcasts or uplifting music or just things that will burst your audiobooks even. That just power you up through the workouts or through a long walk. That's a great way to do it. Another thing to get fired up is just, if you're into coffee, get a little caffeine buzz going. I do a pre-workout drink called Energize. Boom. I mean, like 15 minutes and it kicks in and I'm like ready to go. It's like lightning in my body. So that's a great way to do it. What motivates my wife is fitness clothes. She's addicted to Fabletics. But there's a lot of companies out there, Lululemon and Athletica and other things like that you may want to if it turns you on and makes you happy and it makes you work out, maybe do that. And then reward yourself, not with food necessarily, but just, acknowledge yourself that you're getting accomplishments in there. Maybe it is a new set of tennis shoes or a new set of workout clothes or some workout equipment that you've earned, but to treat yourself. But just make sure that if you are exercising regularly, that you acknowledge yourself for that, for a job well done. I know sometimes when I get on here, a lot of you have been working out all along, and maybe you just pass this on to your friends. But if you fell off the wagon or you are just brand new to this podcast and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't exercised like forever, then I think these will definitely help you. I know they help me. I faced a lot of those roadblocks too, but in time, with a little bit of consistency, because the time's going to pass anyway, if you make use of it, even little slivers of time, it can really add up months and years down the road. That's what I discovered. That's what I've seen a lot of people that I coach discover. And you know what? A lot of the fun that we have is we've got these little online virtual groups. So people are from all over the UK and Canada and United States, and we all connect through, we're either using an app on our phone or we're using a Facebook group to connect and motivate each other. So if you don't have the friends right there in your neighborhood to go and work out with us, you can come and work out with us. You can just email me, perrytinsley@gmail.com. and I can help point you in the right direction for that. I so appreciate you for coming on. If you find this helpful, please pass it on to somebody else. Just mention it. Say, hey, go into iTunes, search for Power Blast Podcast. They can watch it in audio or video. Totally awesome. And another thing is, while you're in the iTunes or in your podcast app, it'd be really crazy cool if you got in there and gave it at least a rating, if not an honest review. That would really, really be cool. So that's all I have for this week. Remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.